Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair. If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, glad to have you here. Oh look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure? It's cultist coffee. What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Okay, microphone. There we go. All right, microphone. Work. Let's get let's make sure we're working microphone. Hey, good morning, Sable, and good morning, Mike. All right, I think we are operating this morning. Great to see everybody this morning. Let's see. There's been a lot of stuff going on. So 2 nights ago, Brianna did launch her crowdfunding campaign for Guardian. So I know a lot of us have been doing crit, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Last night had a fantastic game with BGD. And then, but 2 nights ago, Brianna was talking about the crowdfunding campaign for Guardian. She's trying to, get her materials ready to be able to make films. So she's, we've been working on scripts for a long time on Table Talks. We did this on the Table Talk channel. She and I had a conversation on the Table Talk channel, which has been a while. So if you want to catch up with what's going on with Brianna, she and I spoke on the Table Talk channel Monday. She showed off her the crowdfunding video for Guardian and talked about making doing all the pre-production. She's been in pre-production. Now she's trying to raise the funds for that. So hopefully, she wants this to be like the one short film that she does, as her calling card, basically. So she's been doing that for about the past 6 months while we've kind of been on a table talk hiatus. So if you want to catch up and see what was going on with everybody, or with Brianna at least, that happened on Monday. Sunday afternoon, we did play the Rabivania RPG, and Mike was there. So Mike played in that. And I had a fantastic time. I thought it went great. And there's more I want to build and expand on now that I kind of understand more about, especially the way that crit works and the way that, the way that crit works and what it's doing and stuff like that. And then I've been through the process of both ran a game first. Probably should have played in one first, but then playing in one last night with BGD. So we're doing that again tonight. So if you go over to the Game at Crit website, I'm not sure if they're still. I should probably put out on the Discord server. I know BGD has, but tonight what we did is we just cloned the Rabivania game to do again tonight. I believe it is. It's either at 7 or 7:30. Now there will be occultist stuff tonight. Let me confirm that. Game at Crit. When is the next? Tonight. Okay, 7:30. Okay, so 7:30 tonight, and there are opportunities to play. So if you would like to play tonight, 7:30, and let me. Yeah, I'll put the link here. So if you want to sign up, here it is. Link to play tonight. That's at 7:30, and that's my time, Central Time. I was like, on Sunday, I was like, oh, wait a minute. What time zone is this in? So this is yeah, okay. So I just saw get ticket for the GM. So no, I'm already in. Okay, and James Bacon is playing tonight. So if you want to play with James Bacon, he's in. That's the link. Go over there, sign up, and then we'll play tonight. It's going to be fun. I'm going to spend some time this afternoon trying to improve it. So like I said, now that I've been through it once, kind of know what I need to create, need to have. I'm planning on just improving that scenario that I ran. It's kind of, one shot, kind of based on a 5-room dungeon kind of format. That's what you're going to be doing if you choose to sign up tonight. And I'm going to continue to polish that and put it out. Oh, you already conflicting with a schedule. Yeah. So I know a lot more about this now. So we will, and you know what? We might even play. I mean, it kind of would be a shame, like if I go through this and I want to update it and then do it again. It would kind of be a shame to just have it, not played until next year or something. So I was thinking, well, maybe there needs to be some other outside of crit ways to play this as well, for additional play testing and things like that. So yeah, we'll put out to let other people on the Discord server. I'll make a post to the Discord server this afternoon when I'm working, and let people know. I could even send out an email about that. Like next year we'll be doing that too, I expect. So getting this on the email list and things like that. So but we had a great time, and BGD ran a fantastic game last night. We did his noir game. I forget what goes in front. It's the Operation Noir, which is no independent replicants. I knew there was something in front of Noir. So Operation Noir. If you get a chance to play in Operation Noir by BGD, you should absolutely do that. That was a lot of fun. I was thinking about it this morning, even like, okay, so we were doing some investigation, and then things happened, and I was thinking, oh, but we didn't. There were still some things that were unresolved, or that we didn't explore completely or whatever. And it's like, so I'm still not exactly sure what was going on. I kind of wonder what was happening. Oh, hey, good morning, Retro. And hey, Charlie, good to see you. So, yeah, so he did a fantastic job, and I was saying that he was making me during the game feel just as uncomfortable in kind of tech noir dance club in the game as I would be in a tech noir dance club in real life. So it was fantastic. And maybe next year I'll be able to play more as well. So that's going on. Cultist tonight. I have had tech failure over here. I didn't get much work done Monday afternoon because I had complete failure of one of my hard drives, and so I've had to try to come up with. I found some software that's able to recover the data, and so I'm trying to copy stuff over. But even things like my thumbnail file were on that, which if I couldn't make a thumbnail this morning, but also a lot more critical items as well. And I did have a backup, but of course I wanted the most current, hard drive if I could get it. So I experienced complete hard drive failure, and I've been trying to recover from that. And then I had to also completely reset my phone yesterday, so I have been completely out of like major tech failures. But hopefully it's not anything I need for crit tonight. I'll see about prioritizing moving stuff over. It was like a 4.5 terabyte hard drive, so it also takes a long time to recover. So that sucked. So once again, seems like I'm fighting technology. All right. Well, so that's what's going on. Let's do some work. Let's breathe and sip. Oh, okay, BGD, we were just talking about you. You can go back and catch up. We were just talking about your game. I thought you might be dropping by. It was fantastic. Let's breathe and sip. Let's take 2 deep breaths and then take a sip of your favorite beverage. So here we go. 2 deep breaths, complete exhales, and then take our sip. Here we go. And sip. BGD also ran the game from the index card RPG VTT, which we've looked at and we've used, and I've played in before. But on the list of things to do, I built out the Rabivania, and I'm going to work on this more this afternoon. Add some more stuff to it. Like a playingcards.io version of this Rabivania game. But with what BGD did, the way BGD played this one last night, it makes me want to go over and also, well, it won't be this time, but also to look at building it out for the ICRPG virtual tabletop, because that does work really well. I really like the way that it plays. It does everything. I think that you need it to do. And even had music. I was thinking about that because they even played music for the dance clubs as the dance club was going on and stuff like that. So even got that element. So I'm a fan of it. And I was also thinking about what I was going to should do is instead of just saying this is the Tales of Rabivania game next year, or even just going forward here over the next few months or whatever, instead of saying this is Tales of Rabivania, say this is the Tales of Rabivania. Give this adventure a name. So this is just the one shot kind of 5-room dungeon kind of adventure, and then create a few more of them. So if you sign up for a Rabivania game, you know which one you played in. So this is probably something like the Knights of the Emerald Clover or something. I think I'm changing it from black to emerald. But this is Knights of the Emerald Clover, so that this can be its own kind of adventure, and so what you played in, and then do another one and do different types of one shots, and then something a bit longer as well. So because I also really like the ability, and I was talking to BGD about this, that when you're setting something up like this, it's worth setting up because you're going to play it multiple times, and of course then you could also give it to somebody else, or have it be part of a crowdfunding package or something like that. Have the tabletop set up for play. because you're going to play it multiple times with multiple people. When you just have your group of 4 or 5 that are going to play through everything once, there's no incentive. I mean, there's no incentive to go back and improve that game that they just played, because they've already been through it. But if you are going to be playing it with multiple people, then I guess I was also thinking about it kind of like a college course when I was designing those, that, okay, it takes about 3 iterations to get it, where it needs to be through playtesting and stuff like that. So there's incentive when more people are going to go through it to improve it and have a really nice adventure product. And that also allows people to have something common to talk about. Okay, not just playing ICRPG or this particular setting or something, but actually Operation Noir that he ran, or the Knights of the Emerald Clover. A common experience for people to talk about. I always like that, when you get to talk with somebody about how they also went through the module and what they did differently, or if they survived, what they found out, what they didn't find out. You've got a common experience rather than, oh yeah, I played D&D 2 last night or whatever. And I think that's fun. And BGD was talking about that too last night, like how different the 2 games kind of went. Because he's played that one twice, I believe. Let's see. All right. I was thinking about we got to do something with the herbalist kit. We basically got to the end of the druid. I think kind of this druid well, I guess he's not. But I was like, I think he needs the most help. We need to figure out something to go with this herbalist kit. I was also thinking that we probably need we could do 2 druids ultimately. One male and one female. Probably should have a lady druid, a doe. And then probably should also have Dame Gwendolyn. She's sitting over there as a female knight as well, eventually. Let's go here. Thankfully, I've already recovered the Rabivania project. Hard drive failure always makes you very aware of how, okay, this whole system we've got here. Is very fragile and dependent on, critical failure at any particular part of this could be catastrophic. Hey, let's take a look at the witch. So, let's do that. We'll save doing a second druid for a little bit. So this is going to be witch. What inspiration here? Yeah, is something like if you've seen this Skade from the Last Kingdom. Yeah, and it values the backups, and then also so it also made me think about, of course, I did have a backup. I had a duplicate of that hard drive, but it also made me think about how I'm doing my backups, because on Monday, okay, of course, I had to find some software. By the way, it was called Disk Drill. I'm on Mac anyway, so I'd never heard of it, but I did find it, and it was able to access the hard drive. But then, as far as like scanning it, because it's it's large. It's got 4.5 terabytes of stuff on it, so it's actually larger than a 4 terabyte drive. I was like, hey, I'm gonna get this giant, hard drive, and that'll be my, like working drive. And I'll, man, I won't need another one for forever. But on the other hand, okay, it takes forever to scan and try to recover things. And I'm like, all right, let's move stuff over and try to recover files. So I was like, if it's going to work, that it said, okay, that will be 2 days and 16 hours. So it's not like even Monday afternoon, because it's still running to try to recover stuff and put it on new things. So I'm like, okay, so in the future, I also need to break this up. What I'll do is I'm going to buy multiple smaller drives and put different projects on it. That way, if there is failure, well, first of all, I have the other drives. I've got other projects and other drives. But if I need to recover a single drive, maybe it can be done in a few hours rather than actually stopping productivity for days. So it's been a while since I have watched The Last Kingdom, but I remember really liking this character. But so that's one of our inspirations here. I probably also, it's on my list of things to do. The next thing I'm going to do, I finished the Return of the King, Andy Serkis's Return of the King. I'm still listening to some of the appendix, but basically went through the Return of the King again. And then I'm going to do the Silmarillion. But then I was actually thinking that the next thing I should probably do is go through the Merlin trilogy by Mary Stewart. I've done it before. It's been years. But do that one again, because I remember really liking that one. There might be a character that kind of inspires inspiration from there. I know. I wish that were not the case, because I have looked at that. But yeah. Okay, so what are our abilities here? So starting ability is Evil Eye. You transfix. It's a type of backup system that's real efficient and automatic. Sable will probably be able to fill you in, but I would look that up. So it's a comprehensive backup system. Starting abilities. Okay, so Evil Eye. You transfix a target with your piercing gaze as you mutter in an ancient tongue. Once per scene, use your action and choose a visible creature. Its next check that requires a roll is hard. Okay. And I'm also now thinking about this more specifically in terms of the Knights of the Emerald Clover. Being that it's a dungeon kind of environment, and so it is going to be a little bit more combat focused. I was thinking about two others to do, and one of them not being, and more exploring the political environment of some of the realms and stuff like that. So having something but if we're making a witch to particularly go into the Emerald Knights game, then having a more combat focused witch is probably a good idea. So Reader of Omens, whether by casting bones, drawing runes, or reading the flight of birds, you read the currents of fate. Effect: roll d20 and bank that number. At a later time, you may replace one d20 roll, yours or another's, with your banked result. Once used, it's gone until you're able to read the omens again, a process that takes at least 15 minutes. So that one, it probably, you're only going to use once during a dungeon if you bank it. Whereas bloodletting, you know the value of blood, pain, and the old ways. Once per scene, cut yourself or another willing target with a knife or other blade, dealing 1 HP of damage as you mutter ancient words. The subject gains an automatic success on their next non-combat int or wisdom check. So why don't we send this one with Evil Eye? Abilities. Evil Eye. Okay, so starting loot. Probably in this case, go with the combat option. Starting loot, Ritual Athame, a bronze dagger with a surprisingly sharp edge and ancient runes etched into its blade. This enchanted dagger deals magic, effort, and melee. and maybe we said maybe an additional combat buff, additional non-combat buff. Okay. Black Cauldron, a squat travel-sized iron vessel used for brewing over a fire, with access to herbs and roots foraged from the wilderness and 1 hour to work. With access to herbs and roots foraged from the wilderness and 1 hour to work, you may brew one of the following: Healing Draught. Upon ingestion, target restores 1d8 HP. I think we had D4. So yeah, we need to move that to 1d8. Actually, so if that's 1d8, what is the that's great. Why say 1d8? Why not just say great effort, right? On the other hand, we could just move that to the damsel deals D6 or heals D6 in combat. She has that ability to step up and heal someone for D6 kind of instantly. You know, this is magic effort, so maybe it should be magic. That way it draws upon your effort, which I think sounds good. That seems like something the way that Index Card RPG should go. Sleep Brew. Upon ingestion, make the target roll an int check. Witch's Bile, or sleep for 3d4 hours. Witch's Bile, that's the poison. Or she could take Ward Tooth Pendant, a rabbit's tooth pulled from the skull of a ritual suicide, boiled in herbs, wrapped in black thread, and hung from a bark cloth thong around your neck. While worn, all int and wisdom checks to resist harmful effects, fear, madness, curses, mental domination, possession, spiritual attack, bewitchment, etc. are easy. Let's go ahead and send her with the ritual athame. Yeah, maybe that is a lot. Let's see. Let's go over here. So this is loot. Well, I think that's probably what 3d6 is a major sleeping draught. Like, it seemed to be like to get you all night. I mean, 12. So, I mean, it could be up to 12 hours. But I think you also have to actually get the person to drink it. So it's not like something you can just coat a weapon with or something like that. So basically, it's all night. Like, you know, I think that's what I was thinking. So an average of 6, that seems to work. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a kind of a night's sleep. Now she gets 4 general picks. From basic loot. See, that witch's cauldron. Let's see, that's exactly what we're just reading the you could use a sleeping potion. I hear you, Andrew. I think we need this herbalist kit. So what I was saying, the reason that I didn't finish the herbalist kit at that moment is because I specifically noted that I didn't want the herbalist kit to step on the witch's cauldron. So that cauldron, which allows you to brew the healing draught, the sleep brew, or the witch's bile, that's a powerful item. So the herbalist kit does not need to be as good as that. And I do like that variety. A poison, like the witch's bile, after ingesting this poison, so it's something that's also ingested, the subject must succeed a con check or become poisoned for 46 hours. The poison creature cannot take actions. So the herbalist kit needs to be less than that. And so it seems like she could probably have an herbalist kit as well, but needs to be able to do things that are not as good as these. But it would also kind of suck for it just to be a lesser version of the Black Cauldron. It kind of needs to do other things, I kind of think. But it seems like she would have that. We'll think about that. Probably traveler's garb. See, I need to think of other things like the witch, the druid, the damsel. Like the knights are so gear heavy. It's easy to think about a bunch of different things like, weapons and armor and stuff like that they could have. She could take a critical care kit or a we're gonna have to take a look. I'm gonna have to take a look at this healing in more detail. So this healer's kit over here, we said deals tool, effort, and hit points. So that one's like not magical. And we also don't want the herbalist kit to kind of step on the healer's kit or the critical care kit, which is different. They're out there in the old forest. Hey, good morning, Bacon. We were just talking about last night's game in the beginning. So Bacon was there too. We had a great time. At the moment, let's give her the field kit. And she could when we were running the game, it really didn't matter, if you had people who were riding. Hey, they were supposed to be outfitted for a trek through the old forest, actually going on an adventure into the old forest. So having the adventurer's kit, having, a fox to ride or something like that, really not a problem. All right, let's see where we are on other things. So that gives us the knights, a druid, and of course, at the moment, the druid, as we have it right here, could be either male or female. But I think eventually we should do another druid. So we've got one that, if we're doing art or something for it, is male and one female. We've got a witch. We've got the damsel. We've got two different rangers. We have not done knave or troubadour. Did we finish these? I think we did. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one. Somebody might want to play one tonight. And like they're talking about the game last night. I think last night's game had a major influence on my sleep last night. I think that BGD's game, I was dreaming about being in having moved to some type of major urban environment city, and of course I don't remember everything that's going on, but like that, some kind of operating in some type of major urban environment where I didn't sleep because all the nightlife and stuff, and they just woke up or you never went to bed, but then you just went right to work the next morning and kept going. I am sure this was inspired by BGD's game. I'm sure that we didn't get finished until late, and so it came. I think the game came right into sleep last night. All right, let's look at knave. Oh, you too? Oh, Better with Bacon says, oh, mine too. I rammed into some weird cyber stuff. Oh, we didn't assign the witch stats. Did we give the damsel a lot of charisma? I think we kind of split it. Yeah, okay, she's got 4 and she's got 2 in int. That was kind of we were like, okay, which one? We gave the let me look up well, where are well, I was trying to get the official read on the stats. Well, but I don't even see them in this. Looking at the book. I feel like I'm always trying to, well, find something that I can't in that book. Hey, good morning, TSL frontman. But eventually, when I find the official read on the stats in ICRPG, we could look at that. But wisdom, I think so. I think that the witch can be more wisdom focused. She can be high charisma too, I think. But well, let's make her. We can make her 4-2. And that way she's complementary and opposite to the damsel. Hey, so let's refresh ourselves on what the knave was. What I'm going to do. So like when Mike is asking what kind of knave here. In a world of righteousness and pretense, you live by your wits, not sword, stars, or sermon. You've seen the world's rough edges, so by far your luck has been good enough to keep you breathing. So we've got from the shadows, your first strike doesn't give them time to scream. Effect, if your target is unaware of your presence, your first attack hits automatically, no roll required. If you have, okay, so this is if you have the, so the revised here, if you have the ability to harm a foe when you attack undetected, your first strike hits automatically, no roll required. We did ask what makes this different from what anyone could do when attacking an unaware target. Reroll damage and take the higher number. We talked about that. Because I think that was inspired by the nephews attacking the orcs. Okay, page 25, Master Edition. Okay, I didn't go far enough. So wisdom, the stat measures intuitive, organic kinds of smarts. Is not so much knowing but feeling. How keen is your sixth sense? Place points here to be a scout, to be in tune with nature, or to feel danger coming. Okay, that sounds witch-like. On the other hand, I mean, it could be damsel-like. Intelligence is some heroes use wits over fists. Their key stat is an int, which is used to cast spells, investigate mysteries, recall details, and operate complex machinery. So arguably, the damsel could be wisdom too. But the wisdom also seems like it fits the witch pretty well. Charisma, your strength of will is measured in charisma. You'll be using this to roll for persuasive actions, to resist fear, to drive enemies back with a battle cry. I don't know about the battle cry part, but Okay, Lurker, you've spent your life slipping through alleys, brush, and shadows. Your stealth dex rolls are easy, and you are hard to detect with wisdom in a large crowd. Underpawed, you know how to work a crowd, a mark, or a drunk knight. Effect int or charisma checks involving deception, bribery, appraisal, sleight of hand, and trickery are easy. We have a masterwork knife. A perfectly balanced blade, short and slender and razor sharp. This weapon scores a critical hit on natural 18, 19, or 20. Expert lock picks. When using there to disarm traps, open locks, or otherwise break and enter, you roll great effort. Lucky charm. Rubbing this ancient coin featuring a well-worn image of an unknown king has gotten you out of more than one sticky situation. Any dex check to avoid damage or save yourself is easy. Well, being that I'm thinking about going into a character to go into the Emerald Knights, let's say From the Shadows. Oh, let's bring over all of this. Who would have that? Is there a movie or literary character who has those things that we could draw on for inspiration? Oh, defense. I don't know if we updated her defense. Defense, yeah, it's +0. So it's just 10, right? That's because it's +0 con. So over here, let's say if your target, let's go with BGD's phraseology here. If you have the ability to harm a foe, and Chris was saying that's important because, like, if he was thinking about, well, what if you're trying to attack a ghost or something, then you don't have the ability to actually hurt the ghost anyway. Okay, well, this doesn't allow you to do that. So you have to have the ability to harm the foe. Your first strike hits automatically, and you may you have advantage on the damage roll. There we go. So ordinarily, we'll say that if you're just attacking unaware, you don't have advantage on the damage roll. But this guy does. So this is coming over. So that's his special ability. And then why don't we use the knife? Masterwork knife. And then I think over here where's our basic loot? Yeah, climbing gear. We hadn't really specified that yet, but I think that there's probably something over here in over here. Climbing gear. Okay. So climbing gear inspired by Elfheim. So grapple hooks. This says extreme rope. Grappling hooks, rope. Crampons, pythons, and hammer. thrown over one shoulder. So let's give him climbing gear. Oh, you know what? We should probably also have, he needs infiltration equipment as well. So this would be, we don't have, we've got expert lockpicks. So what did we say about those? So as you can get expert lockpicks, a bark cloth roll of fine custom picks, files, and hooks. Effect when using these tools to disable traps, open locks, or otherwise break and enter. You will great effort. That's instead of tool effort. So we just need basic lock picks. So let's add these down here. And actually, there might not be enough difference between those two. If we're talking about, so this is expert lock picks, but we just want to make some basic. Let's make this. Let's make that magic effort, because with magic effort, you can roll up to 10 naturally. And so that would allow you to do that would allow you to overcome a 1 heart lock or a 1 heart trap or something like that, potentially in one go. Whereas you are not going to do that if it were great. And so let's go down here to our basic equipment and say lock picks. When using these tools to disable traps, open locks, or otherwise break and enter, you roll tool effort. I like that. What else should he have? So he does get 2 more picks here. I feel like we also need something other than the traveling clothes. I'm going to put notes of that in here. Like when we're talking about, like, what type of clothing are you wearing? Well, he could wear patchwork armor. Oh, what if he see, this is kind of like, well, but he's also kind of the fighting guy because he's got the expert knife and so why don't we give him as something different, patchwork armor, mixed pieces of armor, scavenged or otherwise assembled, perhaps a coif bit of rusted bark cloth, ill-fitting or ill-maintained, a dented rusted helm, or similar equipment. So this could be rogues leathers or rogues hides. We could add something like that in. So well, it would be like the bark cloth. That's what we're using instead of leather. But yeah, let's not go traveler's garb for him. I feel like we need some more options in here. I'm just gonna make note of that I feel like we need more clothing options. Because there could be, in the ICRPG, we do have the climbing. The traveler's garb gives you +1 defense, but it includes 2 extra spaces for inventory. And I did a little bit differently here. So the traveler's garb doesn't give you any defensive bonus, but it provides 2 extra spaces for carried inventory. Can be combined with patchwork armor or light armor. So okay, so that actually is our solution here, because I was thinking, do we need some type of rogues clothing or something that is a little bit armored, but then gives you some of the patchwork stuff? So it seems like the thing to do here, since this is kind of our fighter type rogue, is to give him you could give him patchwork armor and traveler's garb, and that lets him pick up the extra spaces for inventory. That he might do that if he's looting treasure and stuff, but also give him a little bit of armor. Right. Flavor, exactly. Yeah, I'm intending for this to be kind of general. I mean, I did in all cases, you get to describe exactly what you look like, but suitable for young, enthusiastic, but ill-prepared adventuring types setting off from home, members of village militia mustering to fend off a sudden attack, or ruffians, brigands, and others who are out looking for trouble. Ruffians, brigands, and others who are out looking for trouble sounds like this guy. So let's say he's got his blade. That one came free. He gets 4 climbing gear, lock picks. I like that he's different. We haven't had anybody wear patchwork armor yet. Patchwork armor +1 defense. And traveler's garb. Because we said this can combine. So that's his starting picks. That's pretty good, I think. He's got a masterwork knife, climbing gear, lock picks, patchwork armor, and traveler's garb. We'll go over to him. Hey, let me so we have a few other people are watching right now. Let me just tell people that if you want to play tonight, put this link out again. Let me stop sharing this screen. I'll go ahead and share this window right here. So if you're watching and you want to play tonight at 7:00 p.m. Central, if you want to play as part of the Crit online gaming convention that's going on right now, I'd love to have you play. There are seats available. So Tales of Rabivania game, and put the link back in the comments tonight. Tales of Rabivania RPG game tonight. Click there and sign up, and we'll be playing the Knights of the Emerald Clover tonight. Yeah, and Better with Bacon will be there, so you'll be playing with Better with Bacon. And me, of course, I'm game mastering. Better with Bacon will be in the game. Let's see. So love to have you. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually put this up. So then what does he get? So we need to look at his defense, his con. It does seem like when you're building these, we talked about this, building these ICRPG characters, in none of these cases have we actually started with the basic stats. It seems like, yeah, make all the selections for your abilities and loot, and then come back. And figure out what your effort should be and what your strength should be and all of that. So, okay, Dex. Oh, you'll be using Dex to make ranged attacks like guns and bows. Dex is also a measure of how nimble you are, so you roll with that stat when you're trying to move silently, do backflips, or deftly run along crumbled rooftops. So we didn't set him up kind of as a range guy. Oh, yeah, and Mike played 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago. Yeah, I think it was, or 3 nights ago or something. So Mike has played in the game, so you also hear it from Mike. So if you're watching and you want to play tonight, the link is in the comments. So we didn't set him up. So another way to do a knave would be to do like a ranged knave. But okay, I mean, arguably he could be +6, but let's see. Let's start with +4. Well, he could just be the straight up Dex guy, but I kind of think that maybe he should be +2 strength, because he's not clearly he's our infiltrator, so he needs to have Dex. But on the other hand, like his masterwork knife here, he's not going to be rolling Dex to fight with that. He's going to be rolling strength to fight with that. I don't think he needs con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. So what if we give him a little bit of a boost on the strength? Yeah, exactly. That's what Mike is saying. He needs some strength so he can use the dagger in combat. If he were purely a ranged guy, then I think we'd go just straight all Dex or something. But okay, let's go with that. And then he tool effort on lock picks. When you climb, That also seems like something that could be handled with hearts. This is a so many heart wall that you've got to get over. So I feel like let's say that he's the tool user. So what if he's just +4 tools? Eventually we might have a whole book full of characters. Okay, so his defense is +1. Well, okay, so his defense is 11, which is +0 con, +1 patchwork armor. I like that character. That one's pretty fun. In fact, the one that I'm the least enthusiastic about at the moment is the druid. I think I might have to go back and look at the druid overall for the build because all of these sound fun to play. Well, I think the druid sounds fun to play as well, but the one that once we created it, I was the least enthusiastic about so far at the moment was the druid. So the druid might actually need some work. I mean, he sounds fun. How much time do we have? Okay. I've got a lot to do today since I lost about it. We're going to keep going for a moment. But I do have a lot to do today because I lost so much time trying to fight hard drive stuff. And I have to cut grass. It's been pouring down rain here in the South. I'm here in Alabama. It's been raining constantly for about the past, 2 weeks or whatever. And so every time I tried to cut grass, it was raining. And then I went on vacation to the beach for a week. And so if I don't get my grass cut now, I'm going to be living in a jungle that I can't cut. And of course, I also on that same day when the hard drive crashed, I went outside. I was like, all right, fine. While it's scanning, I'm going to go cut grass. And then I couldn't get my lawnmower started. And I spent about an hour trying to get the lawnmower started. I did get it started though, but when it rains, it pours. Let's go Troubadour. So let's try to see what's going on with this Troubadour character right here. Let's see. TSL says that patchwork armor idea. I've seen improvised light armor that provides less general protection, but better against specific damage type or a passive buff, sneak, climb, charisma, swim. Yeah, and damage type was one of the things that BGD was saying. He does add into his games. So we could, because that's not canonically an index card, but it is something that could be added in. So we've talked about that. And of course, today it's going up to 94 degrees here. So I was going to try to cut that. It's already like this morning when I started the morning grind, it was already like 84 degrees here. So I was like, I'd better go outside and cut right after the morning grind. So maybe won't be quite as hot. Troubadour. Oh, okay. First, let's copy this over. Okay. But now we do need one possible inspiration here. And one of the reasons I like the inspiration thing, I was thinking of, I don't know if ultimately you put it on the pre-generated character sheets, but there needs to at least be some kind of sentence or two or something. And I think canonically you do that anyway inside Index Card RPG, like coming up with a concept and stuff, so that somebody can look at that if you're trying to choose what character to play. Which could arguably be more important than all of the different stats and stuff like that. Oh, who do you want to play? Because I don't think any of these are bad characters. I think they're all pretty fun. I just think the druid needs to be able to do more. I think there's something else the druid needs to be able to do. We kind of nailed that a bit more with the witch. I think we did a better job with the witch doing stuff that seems witch-like than we did with the druid. But it's because we had more experience, I think. Oh, I know. Retro's got exactly the other situation. I remember when I was in Florida briefly, when it got down to like 70 degrees when we were coming in. It was like in the lower 70s or something. People came in earmuffs. Oh, but I was for inspiration. I was saying like this. We need I mean, one type of character could be a like a baronial or knightly or royal herald. So that could be one type of troubadour. Like right here, but also Will Stutley. Will Scarlet wasn't the minstrel. It was Will Stutley, right? I didn't know there was a Robin Hood wiki, but of course there should be. One of the first merry men in some tales, Will Stutley is a character dating back to the old ballads. No. It is Will Scarlet. We have Will Scarlet and Will Stutley. At least in Errol Flynn, Will Scarlet was the minstrel. He's wearing red. They probably did. TSL Frontman, instead of different damage types, which can feel flaky, just one or two types of damage, the physical and magical, but with keywords added. Acid Arrow versus Acid Mist, for example. Brass Armor resists. Instead of trying to do cutting and bludgeoning and all that. So Christian Slater played. That was Will Scarlet in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Okay, well let's say Will Scarlet from The Adventures of Robin Hood. Let's start with that. Let's use this one. That way it doesn't have to be so serious. I feel like there should be like everybody's taking the traveler's garb. I feel like there should be some kind of reason to not do that. Like that's to me that seems like something that's bulky. Like the druid's robes, right? Holding stuff, got places to put stuff. All right, so we will come up with what these are later. So what did we say for this guy? Here we are. Okay. So it is a traveling performer with a formidable talent and appreciable renown who operates with graceful effectiveness in social circles with high and low, able to captivate and mollify others with ease. So yes, okay, so this is definitely the Will Scarlet type. Starting abilities. Balladeer, your music rallies the weary and steals the wavering. Once per scene location, perform a song with charisma. On success, reduce your ally's target by 2 as long as you continue singing the song or playing the tune, spending an action each round. I feel like that's the one that he should probably take. Because I'm thinking about the Adventures of Robin Hood, and when Robin Hood and Little John are out there on the log doing the classic quarterstaff fight, Will Scarlet sits down and does the classic bard thing and pulls out his lute, and he's sitting there playing a song on the bank while Robin Hood and Little John fight. So, classic iconic bard kind of thing right now. So that's probably what we should probably give him. The other options are con artist. More than a mere performer, you're an expert grifter. Lying is your art form. Roll easy charisma to convince someone of something for 1d4 rounds, but suffer a -1 penalty for each subject of your ruse. So that doesn't really fit Will Scarlet. Copycat, you're a quick study and you've seen many things. Observe any move or skill or any action requiring an attribute check, and then use their bonus to mimic or intimidate or intimate the same action. Imitate the same action on your next turn. So, yeah. So okay. So he should definitely take Balladeer. And then, or no, I think we also have this adjustment to instead of con artist, but thespianism. I kind of like that too. So that's a different one. Than it doesn't make this guy sound as underpawed as the knave, but make that thespianism. With a charisma roll, you can convince others even wild or absurd falsehoods. The belief lasts for 1d4 round per roll made, or until reality violently contradicts it. I think that was how that ended up. I like that better. So then with his gear and his loot, it seems like he should have Mastercraft instrument. So Mastercraft instrument, and make this Will Scarlet's loot. A superbly constructed harp, lute, pipe, or drum. Its tone rich, stirring, and unmistakably yours. Once per scene, per location, spend your action to play an inspiring song that allows a specific ally, including yourself, to bank D12 to add any subsequent roll in the same location. Again, why are we just saying D12, and why don't we make that? That would be that's ultimate. Let's just make that magic to bank magic effort. So, and we'll make that specifically his loot, Mastercraft loot in his case. So he can do exactly what Will Scarlet was doing in Robin Hood. But now we're banking magic effort here. So this over here, Balladeer, on a, okay, this is charisma. Okay, so he needs charisma. And so we need to be sure. We need to be sure that he's proficient in magic, at least. And then I mean, he's probably the high charisma guy. And then arguably we could go to intelligence, but also probably strength. He probably needs to be able to, if it was like a merry man type, he probably needs to be able to fight as well. So we probably need to give him also like a bow or something. We're kind of short on missile troops here, but being kind of a merry man type, if he's not playing, then he probably should be outfitted kind of as a ranger fighter, right? I think so. What does it mean to bank effort? So my understanding is that so once per scene, your action, you spend your action to play an inspiring song that allows your specific ally, including yourself, to so maybe need to be more clear, to roll magic effort and then add that number to any subsequent roll in the same location. Okay, so can he divide it? Okay, great question. Add that number as a bonus. To any one. Let's make it any one subsequent roll in the same location. Like, because then I feel like if you give him, well, we'll have to see how it plays, but I feel like if you allow the person to divide it, It's like okay, then I'll take the 2. I need 2 here, then I need 3 here. This is going to help you succeed on 1. It's not going to like boost a whole bunch of different rolls. It seems like it should be on 1 roll. So instead of rolling a 9, oh, I need an extra 2 here, I need an extra 3 here. You're just going to have this banked. Oh yeah, because we were talking about okay, so he could have the Wanderer's Lyripipe hood. We had that. Oh, and we were still trying to come up with a special kind of weapon for him. Something that's concealable. So the other option would have been like a concealable, always hard to find weapon. Boy, that would have been nice when I was playing last night, trying to get into a dance club with a Glock. In last night's game, not actually if you're coming in, but in last night's game. But okay, so then I think what we need to do, but like that seems to work for our Will Scarlet type right here. But then otherwise he needs to be outfitted like a ranger of the like a merry man ranger. So he probably needs to take, just thinking about this, he needs to take a bow. That would allow him to have a quiver. He could take, I mean, why not also just take a sword? This could be a very flexible kind of guy. It would seem reasonable for him to have a sword. You could also argue that maybe it should be like a long knife or something like that. But I would go, you could go sword here just because, hey, if you want to be the dueling kind of minstrel thing, he could have that. What other kind of things did we give to the Robin Hood-esque ranger? Of course, the Robin Hood-esque ranger took the special bow. Oh, I think we gave them the adventuring packs too. Yeah, Robin. So he got fine longbow, got that through his class stuff. Traveler's garb, sword and scabbard, quiver of extra arrows. Maybe he doesn't need the quiver of extra arrows. Sword and scabbard. Probably needs to be like a short bow. Oh, let's give him the court clothes. We created like court clothes for the damsel. I mean, when I'm looking at pictures of Will Scarlet here in Adventures of Robin Hood, he's wearing the cape, like the red cape, and he's got this brooch thing across it and stuff like that. So yeah, he's married, but he kind of looks like he is suitable for being in court. Of course, Robin Hood kind of does too. I mean, they clearly got like we joke they got the bedazzler out after him, because like when he walks in at one point, he's like got rhinestones like on his green tunic. But yeah, that also makes him a little bit different, because otherwise everybody getting traveler's clothes, like he looks the part as the traveling minstrel that could go into the hall of a noble and perform. So that makes sense. So he's got some nice court clothes. We can add that in here. And then what else should he have? I like this character. I mean, this is a very versatile character right here. No, this cool. Yeah. Tourist says, hi, good to see you. Hi, says, hi, what's your favorite Mint 10 dungeon crawler game? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever played one. I think that by Mint 10, like that's one of those challenges, if I understand it right, where like people are like, can we create a game that goes in a certain type of box, right? And so like a game that has to fit inside of Mint 10, that's an interesting challenge. I saw somebody was doing a challenge. The old VCR tapes, you know, the old one of the old VHS tapes, a VHS tape. You remember the clam boxes, the plastic clam boxes that those came in? Somebody was doing a challenge about can you build a game that fits in one of those VHS clamshell boxes because they had a bunch of them. So yeah, I don't think I've ever played one, but I would. You know, we could add Riding Fox in here. He's also like a scout then. This is an extremely versatile character. So we want him to be proficient in magic because of his mastercraft loot, but it also seems like because of his operating as a merry man here, he needs to also have tool effort, I think. And then so it should probably be charisma and just because he's operating in this versatile kind of environment, let's go +2 on strength. That gets him his +6. But he's gonna be low on defense. But then again, when I'm looking at this picture of Will Scarlet here, he definitely looks low on defense. He's he's much more courtly, and they're not, the merry men aren't wearing a whole bunch of armor. So he is just going to be defense 10 because this is +0 from con. That's a cool character. That's a cool character. I think definitely fits something that we really need here. It allows him. He's able to fit in a wide variety of roles here. I like that he's not just shoehorned into just playing his instrument. That's clearly what he does best. Okay, right. That's what he's going to be doing. But it's hardly like that he can only do that. He can pick up the sword and fight if he needs to, but he may also be missile support at times, and it can also be some kind of scout with a riding fox. Oh, we were going to say, by the way, I need to record in here that what do the foxes do here? In the context of index card RPG, that needs to allow you to move a double move. Because move. So you can move far, entire turn just to move as far, to move twice as far as normal. If you just need to move as far as you can, you might sprint down a dusty street to escape an explosion, run to reach your grav bike before the bad guy steals it, or dash and slide under a slowly closing stone doorway. So, but the War Fox needs to allow you to move a double move as a standard move. I probably need to come up with a better way to do that. Say that standard move. So, basically, you may move far and still take an action. And that needs to be the case for both the War Fox and the Riding Fox. But I wanted to let's make a point that the War Fox is specifically trained to ride into danger or dangerous situations. I'm typing in the other document right now. Situations. And even other riding foxes. So, if you're trying to charge down an enemy, I mean, trying to charge into something, maybe that's not something a riding fox would do, but a War Fox would do that. But critically, so you get to move double when you're mounted. Right. So strength. So did we get that? Let's see. Okay, so we got deck. Yeah, yeah. It could be. Well, he does have the bow. So actually, you're right. Should this be plus? Because he'll use the dex to shoot. Right. We came up with that. That in index card RPG, the dex shoots. So maybe he should be charisma +2 strength. Kind of sounded a bit much for like Will Scarlet, but +1 plus. So maybe it should be +1 strength, +1 dex. That allows him to use the short bow and the sword basically equally competently, although not to a great degree. So I like that. I like, yeah, going that because he needs, if he's a merry man, he needs to be able to shoot his bow. Sling. Yes, yeah, it could be. I thought about that. You could go sling. It needs to be a short bow instead of a long bow at least. But he is mounted, so he can carry a few other things because he's mounted. Depending on how ambitious you want to be, maybe you could have a hybrid loot arrow firing contraption. Now they do that. I think they do that in the cartoon Robin Hood, right? I think someone fires an arrow from his loot. Tourist says, "What do you think about the one-handed flail weapon?" So we do have one of those. I think we did. Yeah, we based that off of something that's already existing in Index Card RPG, which allows you to do damage to the opponent's defense. So we just kind of ported over the flail from Index Card RPG there. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go outside right now and try to cut some grass. So this was great. This is a lot more work. So I'm going to employ those in the game tonight. So we will use those. I'll make those available in the game tonight. If you want to play, get this link. That's a buck and a quarter. If you want to play tonight, I like that. Here is the link to play tonight, 7 o'clock. Play Rabivania tonight. If you want to play one of these characters, take one of them out for a spin. James Bacon already has dibs on the Robin Hood style Ranger. So that was the one who was designed for him. But there we go. If you want to play tonight, then you'll get a link to the Discord server, the Index Card RPG Discord server. There's like a place for discussion about each one of the games. It's already there. And then we will either play, and then I'll also put a link to the virtual tabletop. And either we will use the Discord server for voice. There's a voice server or a voice channel that's spawned for each game, or we will go into the coffee shop, because I remember James Bacon was having a problem with his microphone and Discord last night, so we might use something else for that. So there we go. Have a fantastic day. Please come on and play. If you've enjoyed this, pick up one of these characters, and we'll play at 7:30 p.m. Central tonight. Just sign up at that link. And then we'll also put you in the playtest credits. So, all right, I got to go. See you all tonight. Later, everybody.